shuffle lanes too much. It's going to be a Medusa for basically unknown.
Radiant
You don't get the cleave here from the Empower, but Bloodlust on Medusa is insane, and plus damage is always good. So Medusa is going to be that steroided up hero, and it's pretty resistant to what XPC have. You are probably going to look to get a Manta Style up on Medusa, so that Treant Protector's Overgrowth not really going to stick. Axe's Call, very nice for him, of course, but Medusa will have enough to sustain that. So for XPC, they're going to have to step up the heat right now, and Treant Protector, although he can do some aggressive plays early on, isn't really what I would call a super aggressive hero.
Yeah, like Boots first, he's not bad early on in the lane, but certainly starts to taper off. AM left wide open from BU for XPC, and they'll pick it up here. Last two, basically, or one of the last melee cores basically available to them in the game. They won't quite have the steroids that BU do, but innate advantage with the mana break over the Medusa there from the AM. So if they're able to grab up a mid lane or something like a Storm Spirit here, can create a little space, get some pickoffs with this Axe and the Lion, and give this AM enough space, XPC looks pretty damn good going into the late game.
Well, basically unknown, they are already with the Ogre Magi Scarith Mage. These two heroes can lock down the Anti-Mage for a very long time. Until, of course, Anti-Mage gets his Manta Style, he'll be safe from, or he'll be under threat from all of that. Manta Style will keep him very safe, but still, XPC, their Anti-Mage, though he's going to get a lot of protection from the Treant, from the Lion, and he does have that Blink. The Blink is by no means guaranteed in this game, so basically unknown might be able to plow their way through the Anti-Mage, even though he is technically a good hero versus the Medusa. It's going to be Storm Spirit and Queen of Pain to be banned out, as basically unknown probably going to put their Magnus over towards the mid lane. Storm Spirit ban out, not too sure about that. Maybe XPC expecting BU to shuffle up their lanes, and man, they are going to. It's a doom for them. That's a pretty good counter to the Anti-Mage, I would say.
Yeah, and there aren't the greatest targets to really dissuade them from dooming up the Anti-Mage. You don't really care about the Axe being doomed up so much. The Lion is nice if the Anti-Mage isn't currently in sight, but other than that, it's pretty much going to be a delete button on this AM for most of these engagements, and that really bodes well for BU. It is going to make their lanes a bit weak, but Treant Protector not having too much disabled to him, they're going to have to close the gap on this Doom, and as long as he plays safe, keeps his Scorched Earth at the ready, should be able to survive and soak some XP in his lane.
Well, you're just talking about splitting Doom focus. Templar Assassin is another chief target for the Doom to Doom. And really, I don't think he's going to be too upset throwing Doom towards the TA or the Anti-Mage. As long as he lands his ultimate on one of those, he should be pretty happy. But XPC, they definitely were lacking a little bit of early game fighting potential, and TA is the perfect hero that you want when you're going to do that. XPC have gotten to as much of an aggressive state as I think they could have, but still basically unknown. Their plan should just be stall out and let Medusa do her thing. Even though Anti-Mage, TA, very powerful late game heroes, Medusa is comparable just by herself, not to mention the amount of steroids they could put onto Nico. So this is going to be a stall out game for basically unknown. It's going to be up to XPC to try to crack this early on.
Yeah, and I mean, Doom is never something to overlook in the late game. You'll have Ag's Refresher by then, and that means at least one hero completely removed from the fight permanently. So BU still looking good despite AMTA being in the hands of XPC.
Well, this is game 2, guys. XPC are down a game, so they are facing elimination from the Yard G2A Festival. If they cannot win this game with this draft, they're going to put Illusionist on the Treant Protector. No Boots first on him. Cancel is on the Templar Assassin. Wadisa is on the Axe. Keanu is on the Lion. And then down towards bottom, it's Red Light on the Anti-Mage.
Yep, and for the side of BU, they're going to have Stoneman playing on the Ogre once again. Slavi going to pick up where Arise left off on the Magnus. Nico going to pick up that one position. Medusa, Pure Evil, going to be playing on the Skyrath Mage. And finally, that leaves Mind Control, solo safe lane on the Doom.
And he's so close to danger right now. He has no vision up on this high ground. Actually, no, he does have a little bit. Actually, does he see them? I don't think he saw them, but he's still going to get cut off a little bit. Battle Hunger to slow down. Disaw's looking to get in front of this Doom, but with the Tango, he's not going to take that much damage. Unless he's completely blocked, he should be fine. And he will slip around that Axe and get into safety. Taking a couple of pot shots is Keanu, but that's about it. Bounty Rune for Bounty Rune, and, well, Mind Control up on this top lane, going up against anyone, any assortment of XPC's heroes is not going to be fun for him. And really, XPC, they could even, if they really wanted to, leave the Treant up here to go up against the Doom and then jungle the Axe. It's as greedy as it gets, but they could get away with it.
Yeah, the tree will definitely still find some farm, and the Doom won't be able to deny it up from him. They could even send one mid lane and ensure Cancel's win here, but Cancel traditionally going to do much better than the Magnus will in this lane. Magnus won't have his farm denied, but he won't have any kill potential on this TA.
Yeah, he is going to get rid of the battle hunger pretty swiftly, but we have Keanu stalking up the high ground, waiting for this courier to come out. And they got a read on the Magnus's items very early on, so they knew what the Magnus's plan was. Rush the bottle. That's probably going to be his plan all the time. But it seems like the basically unknown side are not going to be surprised by this, unless this bottle is going to the south lane, which I doubt.
Stoneman going to find the courier in the mid lane. One more right click will be there. A good diligence for him to wait for it to come out to cancel. Brings out the boots, and no bottle going to be... or the bottle brings out the bottle, but no boots going to be available to the TA for the next little bit.
And the courier snipe is not going to happen on the basically unknown side either. Up towards top, Mind Control is doing a decent job 1v2, but is going to get a lot of help here coming out from Stoneman as well as Pure Evil. Anti-Mage kill not viable, but Illusionist already down to half HP. If he gets hit by anything, he could die now. There's the Arcane Bolt, but Stoneman is not going to Fire Blast him or Ignite him. That was actually pretty weird. They could have easily dove that tree, I think.
Yeah, I guess the Ogre just not expecting him to be that far forward at the point. A little unfortunate. Meanwhile, over in the 1v1 lane, we got DSauce's Axe versus Nico's Medusa. Very uncommon to see a Medusa off in the Dire off lane, but she'll do just fine in this matchup.
Yeah, Axe really can't do that much, and this Snake, though that time it didn't actually connect on the Axe, is going to be hitting him very hard. And even without that, this Medusa has quite a bit of regen and quite a bit of protection versus this Axe. Nico should be closing on his phase boots. Even with Lion coming in, haste or not, Nico should be fine to just man fight the Lion if needs be. But instead, here comes the Axe. Mana Shield is leveled up. Nico's going to lose all of his mana from this gank, but he will not lose that much health. So and when push comes to shove, you will be able to keep yourself alive, and Stoneman is going to come back around. Ogre Magi not really going to help out this lane too much, although with Ignite they'll put a lot of damage into DSauce without really committing much themselves.
Yep, Keanu coming through with the Impale is going to back them off, but they don't commit much for that, as you mentioned, and it is going to give some space over to the top lane now. Red Light trying to find some of these creeps, will steal one away from Pure Evil Skywrath Mage. He's going to take a little bit of harass from his trouble, but this 2v2 should be fairly uneventful. No hard disable available to either side.
And it's just a lane that's full of melee heroes, so of course Pure Evil's Skywrath Mage is going to be reigning supreme here. Even though it's only a level 2 Skywrath Mage, Anti-Mage still does not have his point of spell shield. Down towards bottom though, Nico's going to get jumped. Can't put up his mana shield in time. He's only at 15 HP and that mana shield won't do it. However, it will be an even trade. DSauce does draw first blood, and that's going to put the Axe a little bit closer to his Tranquils. In fact, he can buy them right now if he really wanted to. So first blood going the way of XPC, although very slightly so.
Yep, elsewhere, everything else pretty even. A nice little advantage being secured by Cancel mid lane, as you would expect him to in terms of CS. 20-10 up against the 13-1. But meanwhile, the Illusionist is going to get picked off the top lane. Keanu rotating in is getting a little bit low underneath Mind Control Scorched Earth, but that's going to expire now, and he's going to have to back off away from the tower.
You don't expect the clap from Mind Control from the Hellbear to do that much damage, but it does do quite a bit. It's the most damaging skill you could grab from one of these neutrals, and it was amplified by the seal. He's going to run to cancel, however, and this TA does hit very hard. She has no melt, however, so this might mean Mind Control can get out alive, but with no mana, he has no Scorched Earth on cooldown either, and the Templar Assassin's keeping up with Mind Control very evenly. Mud Golem's not going to deny him either. It's a free kill for XPC.
The only mystery is how you lasted so long.
Yep, it's a nice pick-off going the TA's way. It also gives some space over to Red Light in lane. And the Anti-Mage now with 15 CS, doing pretty well, keeping on par with Nico's Medusa, who's now rotated up to the safe lane and is tired of being aggressed upon. Meanwhile, bot lane, they are going to catch a kill, but Pure Evil should be able to get the return kill here. He's going to get the Arcane Bolt. He even gets off the seal for good measure. One more right-click is going to be there, but he'll feed his own life over. Solo kill going the way of the Treant, and the TP from Mind Control a little bit too late to say anything about it.
Well, Lion in the meantime is going to almost die to the Magnus, but wow, so many unknown heroes diving really deep to try to get kills that they will almost take, but almost killing off means the enemies get to live. So 5-3 and unknown, they're throwing bodies into XPC. Their Templar Assassin is getting a huge amount of benefit from this. Their Axe is also collecting quite a few kills after all of these exchanges. Basically unknown, this is really unnecessary for them to do, though it's nice to take these kills. they really just have to let this Medusa farm. And now they've shifted up Nico to the top lane. That's a place where she's almost guaranteed that farm. They're going to try to go for a mid lane engagement. Fire Blast and Skewer into tower range. She still has no meld cancel, and that will be a very easy kill on the TA. And at the same time, a kill on the anti-mage down towards bottom. Mind Control on the run. Is going to run out of Scorched Earth, however. Let's see if he's lucky enough this time to get a neutral deny, because I don't think he's going to get out of here. This Battle Hunger won't do it. Actually, the punch will. So it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade down towards bottom, but Doom shutting down anti-mage just as he was picked for.
Big misplay coming out from the anti-mage. Thought he was safe with the living armor. Scorched Earth completely removed that and hastily did so as well, and just manned up against the Doom and lost that fight even with his two comrades by his side. The call was already used prior to that, so very heads-up play from Mind Control there. He'll find a kill on the anti-mage, but either way, Team DDoS.
There's such a huge difference between losing a player 6 minutes in and losing it 30 minutes in. Stoneman was looking at this invisibility rune, but then of course he walked away because he disconnected, and then DSOS is just going to grab it. So now Axe gets to grab that invis and maybe set up a kill for the team. I'm just going to put it out right now. If you lose a player 6 minutes in the game, you just can't win.
Yeah, this is rough.
Well, we're good. We're good, and DSOS is going to get a lucky break there. Grabs an invis rune that by all rights should have been the Ogre Magi's, but sometimes internet troubles are just going to be internet troubles, and that's it. Stoneman could have even set up a kill, perhaps, although the Axe would have seen him coming. They're going to hunt for the Treant Protector down towards bottom, or at least the Doom will. This Scorched Earth is doing quite a bit of work, as you said, melting through the living armor and also doing a lot of damage in the process. Slavi is going to skewer out of mid lane, still being chased down by the TA perhaps, but no, she'll call it quits for now. Magnus not having a great time versus the TA, but only 9 CS behind, not doing the worst, but it's really the denies where Cancel is going to keep his lead, and this is pretty much to be expected. TA should be beating Magnus every single time.
Yeah, Stoneman going to rotate down to the bottom lane to join up with his Doom here, who is going to be aggressed upon. Kiano, though, caught out in the river by Pure Evil, will get the Hex off first, and meanwhile the Fire Blast goes out onto Illusionist. They're going to get the Doom off to secure the kill as he fades. But meanwhile, Kiano dropping very low. Pure Evil gonna get dropped down. Slavi, no mana left for this Shockwave. Cancel gonna come through and clean him up. Will the Ancients be able to take it? They will not. And the TA finding another meaningful kill. 2-1-1 currently. And will catch a Psionic Trap onto Mind Control as well. They're going to continue to queue up the aggression here. Meanwhile, Stoneman is a little bit deep behind enemy lines. He's going to get a Fire Blast onto DSOS, but it's not going to be enough, at least for now. They save their Doom while Nico is farming in the safe lane.
Oh man, he missed the Invis rune, and then he stopped moving because he reconnected, and then ended up dying because of it. There wasn't a high chance that he got out of there, but he just stood there and couldn't do anything. So once again, internet troubles helping out XPC, hurting basically Unknown by quite a lot. But after all is said and done, kills are traded back and forth. XPC do get slightly more numerically out of those kills, but still Nico is farming up on the top lane, and he really isn't going to deal with much coming out from the XPC side. And that's what basically Unknown want. It's okay if their mag dies a couple of times, as long as he gets his levels towards Empower. Same thing for the Ogre Magi and Bloodlust, then Unknown still will have a shot in the late game. So even though this game state isn't too terrible, XPC aren't leading by that much, and maybe they'll even lose Illusionist up towards top. Mystic Flare not quite up yet, but Stoneman is coming in, plus Medusa is here. Treant Protector is completely surrounded, does get the Overgrowth out, puts himself in Viz, and True Sight, it is there. Yes, it's on the ground. They'll kill up the Treant.
Yeah, they take out the Treant. It's a nice kill for them. He's been a little bit of a nuisance, and I would say XPC is getting enough out of this early game if their anti-mage was farming. But bot lane, speaking of which, he's going to get doomed up and chased down by Mind Control. Should be a kill here unless there are immediate TP rotations. That doesn't look to be the case. Doom definitely well worth enough duration to bring down Red Light, and Mind Control going to continue to chase him down once again, shutting down this AM, and Medusa doing well on the other side of things.
Mind Control might run into an Axe right now. He does have a Calling Blade. Without it, no chance he gets this kill. Mind Control is going to have to walk through all these creeps, grabs the last hit to get rid of that Battle Hunger, but here comes a TA. Another chance for a neutral deny, perhaps. Mind Control is most likely just going to lose his head. One more call and a chop. There goes the Doom in a shower of blood. Still trading your Doom for the Anti-Mage, getting the Anti-Mage off the map, preventing him from getting towards Battle Fear. At the same time, buying space for your Medusa to clear up a top tier 1. So worth it for Mind Control to be making these plays.
And they also forced the rotation over from Cancel out of the mid lane as well, which gives Stoneman a bit of space to farm. Almost finds his level 6. He will get overgrowthed up here, though. Is going to turn for the Fire Blast and the Ignite. Probably will feed his life over, though. But Light Blue right rotating in from the north. Pure Evil does have the Conch Shot available to him. The Psionic Track is going to land on Stoneman. But the concussive shot will actually choose the Treant instead, and Cancel gonna be able to finish one off, and the Finger of Death finishes another. Illusionist getting low here. The Scorched Earth should be enough to tick him down, but Mind Control gonna feed his life over for this. The stick charges actually keep him up. Hex gonna cancel the RP from Slavi. DSauce rotating in as well. Cancel getting low though, no mana available as well, so the Refraction not there to keep her safe, and she'll have to rotate out. Overall, looks like a 1 for 2 going the way of XPC.
Well, Nico is going to run into Cancel. His TA has no additional mana, but she already has her Refraction up, so Nico can't really do too much there. And Unknown, still 2 for 1 isn't really the worst, again, because of their late game stage. However, this time it's Anti-Mage to take the aggression on towards the bottom lane. Takes down a tier 1 tower, not having to deal with a Doom or anything like that, and he's free to just farm it up. Not really doing an amazing job on his farm. Is firmly in the middle of the pack, but still Red Light can get some farm here and there, and Anti-Mage doesn't have to be the only carry for the team. Templar Assassin is there to split that payload. So Unknown 9 to 12 right now, and Nico, he's actually going to shuffle away from the top lane over towards mid. This is not where you want to be, especially when there's overgrowth waiting for him. Plus Battle Hunger looking to close in for the call. Stoneman, Slavi, Mind Control, they're all coming in. RP onto 2. Skewer back onto the same 2. Not quite into tower range, but the Shockwave's going to line them up, and Axe also doomed. That living armor not going to last for much longer, and he's going to be at the very least one casualty. Illusionist going to try TP out. Will just barely go down to the Magnus's right clicks. They'll take down 2 as Nico looks for the Lion, who is going to get himself far enough away to survive. But it's a free 2 kill for basically Unknown. Blink Dagger on Mag, providing some serious value. Here comes Cancel, looking to a 1v4. I don't know if you want to be doing that, man. Is going to be ignited, losing all of his defensive charges immediately. Now chased down, Fire Blast Skewer. That was not a good plan from Cancel. Yeah, I mean, 2v4, not good odds, I would say. This tower should also be brought down eventually. And that's
yeah, good on
BU. Oh, Axe, are you really going to do this also? He's going to jump in. Axe has a better chance of doing this than the TA, but still, he doesn't really have proper backup because here comes a Mystic Flare from Pure Evil. They're going to land the concussive shot, though there's the call to get him a little bit of extra armor. He's going to drag MC and Tomahen out of position. It's Keanu to teleport in, gets the Hex on the Pure Evil, Spike into Mind Control, but he's so tanky, this Doom, with the regen that he has. He's going to tank right through that, and he's just going to start walking his way out, and it looks like he might be fine, although Overgrowth is going to slow him down. He's completely surrounded, has 10 stick charges. He's going to run the opposite direction to dodge the call, but he will lose his head regardless. It's 13 to 12 now, and basically Unknown take a pretty decent series of events.
Yeah, it goes well for them there. Pure Evil not able to get much off. Jump forward Skewer, though, is going to bring DSauce back into a Mystic Flare, and he'll be brought down. So a nice return kill being found by BU, and the TA going down there is huge for them as well. Was the highest worth target on the side of XPC, so they take a big hit. Meanwhile, Red Light was farming, but still not at a point that he's scary quite yet.
And Nico was participating in all those fights, and usually Medusas don't do that. Usually they're sitting up on top lane, slowly farming items up, but getting a couple of assists for a little bit of kick of experience, a little bit of extra gold as well. Certainly going to help out Nico in that endeavor as well. Point Booster is a starting item for Medusa, rather defensive, but down the line she should be looking at an Eye of Scotty. Usually it's a Yasha first for her, but it seems like she doesn't want to go for that. Just straight for the big items, go for the gold, because you will have that level 2 in power plus bloodlust levels soon to come up on Stoneman. So 13-13, and basically Unknown still looking pretty good. They brought the lead back in their favor, although not by much. Anti-Mage, the lack of his farm is really going to be hurting XPC, because until he gets his Battle Fury and then another item, he's just going to be dead weight. He's only a level 9 Anti-Mage. That's not going to do that much in this game, especially if he gets jumped right now, as Unknown smoke into the enemy jungle, looking for the AM. Red Light's going to dodge it for now, but for how long is he actually going to live?
Yeah, and the longer he's looking to dodge this gank, the longer he isn't farming. They may even run into Cancel, which is just as good of a target for them. They probably saw that trap be placed momentarily, so just waiting on the high ground, seeing if anyone will poke their head at. Doesn't look like that'll be the case quite yet. But it seems that XPC are playing pretty tentatively, knowing no one really is showing their face in lane except for Nico, who looks like a whole lot of bait right now.
Especially when an Empower comes out from the Fog of War. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's someone else there. You got double Blink Daggers, though, on XPC, and they just took a huge leap in power level. The ability to get right on top of someone like Slavi, bring him down in an instant, or the Medusa, just as good if not better. And that can lead to a messy fight over in the mid lane. However, look at the positioning for Basically Unknown. They're perfectly positioned around Illusionist. Cannot find an Overgrowth that'll hit more than 2. Actually, now he'll hit 3. However, there it is. Onto the call at the same time, but no spins afterwards. Spike onto 2 as the blink in is there from the cancel TA. Looking to go for Pure Evil. That will fall short. Nico's still surviving. Even after that ultimate from the Lion, they get the RP onto the TA and on the Axe both. And now Axe is completely surrounded, and he's going to die as well. Looking to go for Stoneman, but he will fall short there as well. Blink forward, Slavi, Mind Control, going to look for Keanu. They will fall short in that regard. But that was almost picture-perfect initiation from XPC, yet they just don't have enough to kill off this Medusa. She took so much focus, and then of course she finds a regen rune, so now she's back up to full. I guess the end result is Anti-Mage gets some farm, but that's not really a huge benefit for that cost.
Yeah, maybe if Red Light was there, he gets a big mana void off when the call caught 4 underneath the step there. Not the first call, but the second from the Axe. Either way, yeah, not quite enough follow-up. And I feel like the big difference in that fight as well is that we did have Nico skill up Stone Gaze at level 10. So that was available to him, able to stone 2 of them as they got RP'd on the low ground, and then they finished them off. Everyone else pretty much surviving, all well and good for BU at this point. Take a look at the metrics. They've gained a small lead in net worth and experience, but nothing to write home about quite yet.
Well, maybe they're going to catch up with a little bit more. They have smoke that's revealed. Dust is available on Stoneman, and they don't quite realize that it's a tree that revealed it, so they will hold on to that dust. Now, that initiation, now that I think of it, was a little bit awkward since they Overgrowth and called at the same time. Oh, wait, no, they have a trap set for Illusionist, rather. Mystic Flare, not going to do that much, actually. Dream Protector tanking that one like an absolute boss. Now here comes Cancel, but here comes Mind Control just the same. Illusionist is on his way out, gets dusted, but he still has living armor. Blink forward, Cancel looking towards Mind Control. That's not an easy kill to take. D-Size is here as well, but he gets silenced away from his potential call. Ignited up as well. Now he's doomed up. This is so much dot damage, and he will be going down here. Probably Mind Control, though, going to be a similar casualty for Basically Unknown. They also might lose this Ogre because Overgrowth is always up online. It's such a low cooldown skill, and Stoneman is going to fight his way out of it, but he will not be able to get out of it. The Axe also gets to live. Finally, XPC get a decent trade for themselves.
Yeah, very nice set of events going their way there. 1,000 gold going to their squad, 2K experience. Still not the biggest deal for BU, but they do blow a Doom on that one, and it goes to no avail. So something that's certainly going to help XPC scale throughout the game here. They've got the blink up on the Lion. He is able to dodge that skewer in the mid lane. As you mentioned, a couple of blinks on their lineup. The Axe, TA, and Lion all have theirs now, so they can look perhaps to take some engagements more on their terms hereafter.
Well, Nico is closing in on his Eye of Scotty, so this Medusa is currently not the most useful hero for Basically Unknown. The Stone Gaze is really good up against TA, up against the Anti-Mage, but that's about all she offers. But once she has this item, and then the next item, with the Empower and Bloodlust levels coming up, they will be able to do so much more with this Medusa. She could actually start joining in the team fights and actually having a contribution rather than just a bullet magnet. Sometimes all you need is a bullet magnet, but you would rather have your Medusa do a little bit more than that, I'm sure. Over towards mid, Slavi is potentially going to get jumped. There are 2 blinkers here in the Axe and TA. They can't quite find an angle, though, and well, Keanu's here as well, but Stoneman is going to put an eye up, and he will see everyone.
Mind Control bot lane's being scouted out by Illusionist. They're going to mass TP in onto him. He's got no blink available. Overgrowth will keep him there, and he will drop the blink or the Doom onto Cancel, but the Hex keeps Slavi from jumping in on this TA. Living Armor is going to keep him alive, and it looks like just a couple trades of ultimates here. Everyone else going to back off for the time being.
That's actually pretty reasonable for Unknown. They forced a couple of heroes to TP down to the bottom lane to help out in what should have been a pretty cut and dry gank. Mind Control gets to live, and because he gets to live, he also has enough gold now to buy up his Aghanim Scepter, which he will complete as soon as he gets back to base. So dodging death right there, that's exactly what Unknown were looking to do, and they get away with it as well. Now Nico, with the level 3 Empower, is going to start clearing out quite the stack of Ancients. It got jacked a little bit by the Templar Assassin, but this will very quickly be up to a tri-stack. And, well, there it is, and Medusa should be capable of clearing this one out pretty swiftly, although Cancel does know exactly what's going on. And if he steals a couple of these creeps, that could hurt Unknown so much in this game.
Yeah, he's looking to maybe make a cheeky play from the high ground there with the side blades, but either way, probably should back off and does opt to do so. Cancel, after having a very good start, hasn't been too influential thus far, has been the target of a couple of Dooms, did feed over that one costly death towards the mid lane. Is working on presumably a Desolator, could be a BKB, but with the RP, the Doom, and the Stone Gaze over on BU's side, BKB pretty underwhelming in this one.
Unknown, they're going to group up all around Nico as he does clear off those Ancients. We have a 20-minute Battle Fury on the Anti-Mage. Rather slow, but all things considered, he's going to be happy that he actually has that item. Problem being, of course, Battle Fury is just step one for an Anti-Mage. That's meant to accelerate your farm, not end your farm. And Nico, in the meantime, has 1,600, soon to be 2,000 gold in his inventory. So this Medusa is going to get to a pretty unmanageable state from the XPC side very quickly. Illusionist still on the roam right now, is going to run into Stoneman. That's not going to do that much, but Unknown in the meantime, they're going to go straight Roshan. That's actually really gutsy from them. They don't have that much vision up, and they're up against a Templar Assassin, so they should be working with under the assumption that they're spotted right now, yet they're not spotted because TA just doesn't have a trap here, so this might actually be unpunished.
Yeah, they did drop a sentry here, so as long as the trap wasn't too deep in the pit, they should have been able to see it. Either way, yeah, a little bit risky, them only having the vision up on the high ground to the west there, but it doesn't look like any trade going to be found except for the tier 1 tower top classic trade. Seen many times, but it definitely does favor BU at this point in the game. Their anti-mage still needs time on the side of XPC, so if they look to force this with an Aegis, it should be on good terms for them.
Medusa also bought an item. It's going to be another ultimate orb. So many stat bonuses. Yeah, just a clean plus 40. No big deal there. Just plus 40 to everything. That's pretty balanced, I would say. But up towards top XPC, they really can't do that much to stop this impending push, and they don't really want to because while the Unknown side are pushing bottom, they're going to be more than happy to take a top tier 1, although Unknown, they're going to TP back with a couple heroes, maybe just shove the lane a little bit with the Medusa. And Doom, he's all alone. This is not where you want to be as any hero. Doom is pretty tanky. They can't really do that much. He actually lands the Doom onto D-Saz, just trying to force him out. Pure Evil's going to arrive as well, but both of them caught in the Impale, as well as that Finger of Death on the Scarith Mage. Keanu's caught in the tower, though, and he will be under a lot of pressure. However, the Overgrowth is going to bail him out, plus the Invis as well. Keanu is going to live, Ignite or not, and it's going to be a clean escape for the Lion and Axe both. As Unknown lose one hero, what did they gain? So far, not much of anything except for that tier 1 tower. Slavy's going to land the RP on to cancel, but he's ready to use the Skewer to get in this position, so he can't skewer her back out. Mind Control Nico going to come on in, and Templar Assassin is going to burn slowly. So slowly. Eventually Skewer's going to come up, and then Skewer does, I guess, go through meld. It disables meld. Tornado on top as well. Cancel, where are your allies? You need some help right now. Oh no.
This is one of the cutest deaths I've ever seen. Shockwave
going to
be dodged.
Shockwave. Oh my god.
And
I think he's dead, guys. I think he's dead. Ignite's gonna kill him off.
Multicast for good
Something
measure.
will kill him off. My god, kill him off already. There we go. Slavy's gonna draw it in the end, making it not too terrible for basically Unknown. They trade essentially their Skywrath Mage for the enemy TA.
Yeah, it was a little odd top lane, dropping the Doom with the Magnus already had TP'd in mid, so couldn't come defend top. They only TP'd 2 out of the 3 remaining heroes as well. The Medusa not coming in there. Big Impale from Keanu, and they were able to take what should have been a way worse engagement for BU, but either way, still BU looking pretty good at this point, and they do get cancel on the backside of the engagement.
Nico's actually going to go for Lincoln Sphere. This is not really the most common item progression after that Eye of Scotty, but again, because you do have all these Voltron techniques with the Bloodlust as well as that Empower, you can afford to go almost purely defensively, and if you could block a Hex or a Culling Blade, you're going to be pretty happy with yourself. Really, there aren't many skills in XPC, with the exception being the Mana Drain from Lion that are just Lincoln's fodder. Everything else is pretty important for them to actually stick with, so Nico is going to be really, really difficult to kill, and he's going to be doing a lot of damage as well. Unknown, they've held for quite a long time, but the Anti-Mage is also farming up a Storm. Red Light is holding onto the Yasha now. Manta Style should be coming pretty swiftly for him. And this game is going to come to a little bit more of a late game toss-up than I really thought. Even though a 6-slotted Medusa with Empower and Bloodlust is dangerous, XPC, they do have enough answers to potentially deal with her.
Yep, sitting on 1,900 gold as well for Mind Control. Expect this to be a Blink Dagger pretty soon for him here. That'll be a nice set of initiation. Slavi looking for the Blink Skewer, not going to find it to cancel. Doesn't want to expend the RP for that one. Perhaps should have, but either way, cancel is going to make it out unscathed.
That's dodging death for the Templar Assassin. Nice for her. Maybe mind control up towards top isn't going to be as lucky. There's the blink, Hex, Finger of Death as well, but he's so tanky, and he's going to get some support from Pure Evil as well. Silencing up the Axe, there's going to be no cull. Mystic Flare is there, plus everyone else coming in. There's a multicast, and Axe will die to the Doom if by nothing else. Scarf Mage will draw that kill. Slavi looking to chase forward for Keanu. Skewer him out of the TP, and now Keanu with a giant horse rhino thing on top of him probably doesn't have much in the way of escaping. And with an Arcane Bolt landing, he will also drop over towards mid. Nico getting into a man fight with Cancel. The Snake doing so much damage, and Cancel dropping so low so quickly. At the same time, Illusionist, he's going to hide in the corner and TP out of there, but it's a clean 2 for 0 in favor of BU. Anti-Mage getting farm in the meantime, but then again, so is Medusa.
Yeah, and Nico looking to man up there, not afraid of much. He'll just jump into the bot lane, and he will dissuade the anti-mage from continuing to push. So Red Light starting to come back into relevance, as you mentioned, with the Battle Fury and the Yasha, but still not quite in fighting shape to stand against Nico. Nico going to find his level 3 ultimate here sometime soon. Actually, he's opted for opponent stats, so still can't grab that 3rd level in Stone Gaze, but does hit his level 16 mark now, which is the highest in the game.
Level 3 Stone Gaze in general doesn't really scale up that much. Just adds more physical damage should you turn the enemies to stone, and that's by no means guaranteed. So I'm actually okay with people leveling up stats, but maybe like not all the way. You should eventually get that extra level, because sooner or later, Anti-Mage is going to want to face and fight you. Same with the Templar Assassin. And if you pop that ultimate, you get instant safety, and that sounds pretty good as well. So I don't know. For Nico, he'll just go for his build. It doesn't change in cooldown or mana cost.
Yeah.
So probably could use a little bit of a tweak from Ice Frog as far as its scaling. But aside from that, Medusa's still farming up a Storm. Over in the Dire Jungle, XPC still playing pretty aggressively. They dropped Mind Control pretty low, or something did. But he will get out of there as well. He has a Shadow Blade right now, so his initiation onto the likes of TA Anti-Mage can certainly be there. But aside from that, I mean, he's just so difficult to bring down. Even though he only has 6 armor, the TA is struggling, and I wouldn't really expect that in this game.
Yeah, high base HP pool as well. He soaked up a couple of Finger of Death and hasn't quite brought him down. He is going to TP in top here. Does have the Shadow Blade available. Or sorry, Nico going to TP in top. He will TP bottom. So Mind Control going to do a little split pushing. Perhaps look for Red Light. They know that the Anti-Mage isn't with the Radiant side, so looking for a 4-on-4 engagement. Slavi going to get the RP. It's only onto 1, however, but it should be a free kill onto Illusionist. He will drop the Overgrowth and try to Nature's Guys away, but Nico going to come in to kill secure that, and that's exactly who you want picking up that kill if you're BU.
At the same time, bottom, Anti-Mage trying desperately to run away from Mind Control, but with that Aghanim's change to the Doom, you cannot run away from that. You will be doomed forever as long as Doom has you in his sights, and that's exactly what happened. Doom gonna claim a free one for himself on the free farming Anti-Mage. Did grab an ulti orb before he died, so not the worst case scenario there, but still pretty darn bad for XPC overall. As Medusa's getting bigger and bigger, it's kind of weird to see like when Slavi's willing to actually commit to that RP and when he's actually gonna hold it. Using it for the tree, he definitely thought that he was capable of killing off someone else there or hitting someone else there. But, hey, it's fine. RP is going to be up in a minute, and it's not going to bother him too much. We have another disconnect. Seems like Snowman is going to be the target of some illicit internet activities, but no, he's actually still here. Just short reconnect, and I guess they decided that they used up all their pause time. I gotta be honest, I actually am appreciating how BU are handling these disconnects.
Yeah, I was just going to say shout out to BU for being troopers through this BS that they're having to deal with, but either way, they are looking very strong, especially when they do have all players connected to the game. 2,800 gold up on Nico at this point, and can finally build into a damage-oriented item after picking up the Scotty and all the stats offered by that, and the Lincoln Sphere with that Empower. Could you use a little bit of attack speed, maybe something like a Mjolnir, maybe go straight into the Daedalus here?
We do have some nice items coming up from XPC as well. Aghanim's Scepter is actually being purchased up by Keanu, is not too far away from that one. Axe has, general tanky Axe items, but TA working with the Desolator, helping to tear through that Doombringer, and of course Anti-Mage working on his Mantis. So XPC have the dream of multiple Finger of Death kills or multiple Finger of Death recipients. I don't think I've actually seen it hit more than 2 people in a pro game, but hey, you know what? It's always a possibility. Anti-Mage is going to get ambushed by Doom. He thought he was safe in his own jungle, and this Doom should kill him off if nothing else. Though Mind Control taking a lot of damage is actually the line to get the deny the Anti-Mage. Now figuring it towards Mind Control. He's going to lose his head most likely. He needs to get into Invis, and he will. Oh my god, no detection here still from XPC.
He's going to go
Lion,
for Keanu.
yeah, he's looking for Lion. War Stomp to cancel the mana drain for BM purposes, although Living Armor comes out, and that will save him for right now. Another call, Mind Control will definitely die now. Greed. So much greed from Mind Control. Keanu gets to live. Oh my god, he still gets to call in the Anti-Mage though. Even though he's denied, it is still Anti-Mage off the map and not farming.
As the Doombringer, I mean, greed is had aptly so. So we see Mind Control going for a kill. They're perhaps forgetting about that Living Armor. Definitely a fan of the attempt, but unfortunate for him. Probably could have made it out with that Shadow Blade, but either way, does have the Anti-Mage die, even though it was a deny. It's going to deny his time to farm, while Nico is continuing to widen the gap, already jumping for that Eagle Horn, going for the Butterfly here.
We also got an Aghanim Scepter coming up on the Ogre Magi now. There's a Staff of Wizardry for Pure Evil. 2 staves, 2 null talismans, so much intelligence. His arcane bolts are going to be hitting very hard, but most likely that Rod of Atos coming out from him in the future. But Ogre Magi with level 3 Bloodlust is almost peaked out as far as the Medusa is concerned, but even without that, having that Fire Blast and unrefined Fire Blast, that's going to be a nightmare for, well, the supports in XPC, but like the Anti-Mage as well. It's just so much stun duration that he needs to get out of, but he doesn't really want to build a BKB right now. He wants to get more damage. He wants to get raw health, not magic immunity.
Yeah, the Rod of Aoi as well does synergize pretty damn well with the Stone Gaze. Looks like they're going to set up shop is the dire side around Roshan here. There's a Psionic Trap to scout things out, but don't know if they can really mount a defense quite yet. The Anti-Mage does have a TP, but only the tier 2 available in the bot lane closest to that pit. And the rest of the lineup of XPC a little bit out of position to contest this row. Should be a free extra life going over to Nico here.
I would love to see someone unknown just grab a Quelling Blade and just kill this tree. This is like the most dangerous thing in the area, hilariously enough, for basically Unknown. The ability for Treant Protector to overgrowth everyone, then just walk right in and cause some havoc with the rest of his team. That's not going to happen, of course, since the rest of XPC are up on top lane, but it's a free Aegis for Nico's Medusa, and she is, of course, closing in very quickly towards that Butterfly, which is going to be unmet by any MKBs. We have a TP up on top lane, and that is going to force everyone to teleport out, although D-Saz is going to arrive. He's going to blink out as well. Still Net Nature's guys, still close to the trees. Actually, TA runs to the Skywrath Mage and also runs to Stoneman, and this Ogre Magi, as tanky as he may be, is going to turn around for some stunning action. Blink forward, Slavi. Going to land a Skewer and RP onto only Cancel, however. Where's the Medusa and all this? They really need it right about now. Mind Control gets a Doom off onto Cancel. That's nice and everything. We'll kill off the TA. Mind Control into the Shadow Blade. Will escape once again. Are you kidding me? Nico's going to arrive now in that Stone Gaze. He's going to go straight for D-Saz, who just wants to blink out, get some extra armor from the call. Spike from across the trees will not connect, and Axe will die to the Doom. I don't know how Mind Control is constantly living from all these situations, but I could suggest to XPC to buy some frickin' True Sight, guys.
Yeah, that's been really unfortunate for him. 6 deaths on the Doom, and it feels like he's escaped deaths quite often, so a little bit odd and unfortunate, but Red Light does survive in that engagement still. Doesn't do enough, hasn't dropped a Mana Void in this game yet, and Nico is being stalked by Illusionist. No overgrowth for 20 seconds, though. He's just standing on the front lines, 2 lives, and the evasion and the Lincoln Sphere in his pocket. Really not worried about much. Meanwhile, top lane, Red Light looking to find a kill onto the Magnus. Won't be successful. The concussive shot will follow him. Will the level death be there? There's no vision, and they're going to be a little too late to cancel the TP. Illusionist trying to chase down Nico. Nico not too worried about this one, is just going to slither away. Keanu trying to find him. Blink cancel though. 5 seconds until that cooldown comes up, and Nico just going to be able to walk away from this one.
No casualties there. Lion jumping in with Mana Drain being the most annoying thing for the Medusa. It's not exactly killing her off, but it is taking away her effective health pool, though she does have a lot of intelligence right now. She would rather hold on to that. The rest of the Unknown side, not really in any position to defend Nico right now, mainly Mind Control. They don't have that Doom for anti-TA, anti-Anti-Mage tech, but still they're going to go for it with the Aegis on Medusa, and the tower was actually pretty banged up to begin with. They'll take out that one, and then they should probably be backing off, pushing high ground right now for basically Unknown. Probably not a distinct possibility without their Doombringer here. They could go for some tier 2s, and they should be happy with that.
Yeah, had Doom been there, they have the Doom, they have the RP, they got the Stone Gaze and the extra life. They probably walk up high ground, knowing that Anti-Mage isn't quite ready to fight yet. But Red Light does have his Manta on top of the battlefield, 2,300 gold in his pockets as well. Can do, some work in these fights as long as he doesn't get a chain disabled here. And with the Manta, should be safe more often than not.
And it looks like Unknown, they're just going to go up for this top lane push. Cancel was awkwardly stuck, still is in the enemy trees right now. And oh, is he going to run into a double damage mind control? That is not what you want to see as Templar Assassin. Even though Refraction is going to help him for a little bit, it's not going to help for much longer. He has support incoming, a lot of support in fact. And mind control is a little bit too late to save his tower. Cancel going to look to reinitiate perhaps. Has traps, mind controls all alone right now. Slowed down, but really no commitment needed here from XPC. No point. They're going to take a tier 2 tower at the expense of their own top lane tier 2. Oh, they're looking for a second one. Dizal's going to put the Blade Mail, and that'll almost kill Clear Evil. One more Mana Void or something will kill him off. RP a little bit too late though, as Anti-Mage is going to get stunned out by that, but that's about it. Mind Control closing in for the Doom. Going to connect onto Red Light, so this Anti-Mage is now pretty much screwed, especially when he's fighting out with Stoneman, and that's not a fight that Anti-Mage can win, especially when he doesn't get that Mana Burn. He will go down. Mind Control going to draw that kill. And it's going to be an even 1-1 trade down towards bottom. Illusionist just doing his own thing there. Anti-Mage for Skywrath Mage, I would say that's pretty worth it for basically Unknown to make that trade.
Yeah, still have the Aegis as well in their pockets for another minute. So Nico maybe just looks to push this lane out and cause a little bit of pressure, force a buyback. Don't know that they'll go high ground, however. Doesn't look like they're posturing up to do so. But Nico not scared of much. He should be a little bit careful. Stoneman and Mind Control are seen in this top lane, and they are going to initiate. Dsas with the Blade Mail jumping in onto Nico. Stonegaze not even popped. Mystic Snake going to go out for good measure. Keanu going to jump in with the Hex and the Mana Drain. Doing quite a bit of work. Gets the Impale off as well. Battle Hunger is there. No support anywhere near Nico's Medusa from the side of BU. But not going to matter much. In about 30 seconds, she'll have a full HP and Mana Pool by virtue of that Aegis expiring.
The Medusa has so much freaking HP in this game. Not to mention her Mana Pool. Not to mention her armor. Like, this Medusa is a tough nut to crack, and with the evasion on top of all that, there's no way that XPC can kill her off without at least the Templar Assassin or Anti-Mage. Probably even both of them if they're actually going to convincingly kill Nico off through the Stone Gaze, but as long as those two heroes are not there, XPC can do nothing but harass Medusa and try to mana drain her out a little bit, but they can't even do that. They'll lose the Aegis, which is a little bit unfortunate for basically Unknown, but they're still sitting pretty as they've taken down all the tier 2 towers within the duration of that Aegis, and they could now look for a high ground push since Slavi does have the Refresher Orb, has enough to almost cast it. That's 600. I mean, he does have enough, 975, but then he'll be completely tapped out afterwards. But a double RP, should it land, can instantly win BU a fight or maybe even the game.
Yeah, for sure will be very deadly. One Doom onto either Cancel or Anti-Mage on top of that is certainly a 5-man wipe coming out for XPC. So look for Mind Control to look for some pickoffs here under with his Shadow Blade. He's already doing so in the Radiant Jungle. Not going to find anyone home quite yet. Red Light is in a little bit of a perilous position off in the trees. Does have a TP available though, so unless someone gets real smart from BU, he should be okay.
Well, there's still Mind Control on the hunt. However, he is sitting right on top of a TA trap. Is there True Sight here from XPC? Oh, yes, there is. Illusionist has a gem, so no escape this time for the Doom. At least not get out of jail free escape. He does have backup this time, so Mind Control might not look to escape. He'll look to go in. And they also have Stoneman, who's actually sitting awkwardly in the river, but they're pushing down bottom lane in the meantime. Actually, there still is a tier 2 tower here. I thought that one was dead, but they'll clear that one out in a hurry as TA grabs her Daedalus, a nice item for sure, but up against the MKB, or the Butterfly rather, of Medusa, MKB definitely looking a little bit more attractive for her. Anti-Mage is going to go for an Abyssal. Nice items to have, but Nico is fully Voltroned up at this stage. Level 4 Bloodlust, level 4 Empower, which is going to go to town over in mid. There's an RP that landed onto Cancel, it looks like. Actually, no, RP still held. They just stun him the old-fashioned way. Call onto a whole bunch. 2-man Finger of Death, but the Call misses, and now Dsas is on the run. Nico is going to go to town on him. RP to cancel the TP, and Dsas also going to die. Anyone else in range, it looks like they will find Keanu with the multicast, and then 2 more is going to get Nico a double kill. Red Light pushing up top lane, doing what he can, but what he can do is just not enough as Unknown take a 3-for-0 exchange.
Yeah, it was the first RP used onto the TA there. Solo RP, but they bring her down pretty damn quickly with Mind Control TPing in. I guess that seeing that the Medusa not TPing, XPC feel like, oh, this isn't the fight that we're going to lose handily, but all they need is the RP and the Doom. They bring down that TA, followed up with the second one to cancel the Axis TP, and 3-for-0 going BU's way. They even save their tier 2. Both the TA and Axe do have buyback at this point, but still very big loss from them.
Unknown. They're going to wish so hard for a short Roshan respawn timer right now because they just grabbed a DD rune on Nico. It was even Stoneman to give the Medusa the bottle, Whose bottle is this? It doesn't say, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't the Medusa's. If this is a short respawn timer, then Unknown can clear that one out and then go for a push very quickly afterwards. It's only 1 minute. That's actually good enough for them. Illusionist stalking Mind Control right now. Is Red Light feeling comfortable enough to go for this jump in on the Doom? He shouldn't because there's a Skywrath Mage here to help out, but there's no True Sight here, so Illusionist is so far hidden. They could go in and kill off Pure Evil in a hurry. Will they make
Courier
that jump
coming
in?
out as well. Courier has a smoke on it, so they at least see that delivered to Pure Evil. They won't be fooled by this if that ends up happening. No dust on the Skywrath as well, so if they get the smoke popped right away, they won't be able to reveal this Treant Protector. Kiano, rotating in with the Blink, is going to jump in for the Hex. They will try and blow up Pure Evil. Will be able to do so under the Overgrowth. BKB TP committed by Mind Control, but knowing that the Mana Void was there, he just Shadow Blades away. Smart play from him.
It is a 10-second BKB charge out of the Doom's hands, but still, it's a nice little jump in from XPC, and they get themselves a free kill. Okay, Mag, stop pump faking that. You're scaring me, but it's Skywrath Mage down. Not exactly a big deal for basically Unknown. They're feeling comfortable enough with their near 6-slotted Medusa. In fact, with the double damage rune, I would call that a 6-slotted Medusa. She's just going to go right in and go to town on this Roshan, and XPC, they have to get initiation on her and lock her down. Mind Control, though, going to get hit with a blind call. Dsau's going to drag him away into a Hex, though Kiano doesn't really have that much mana. Nico and Slavi going to arrive. Skewer forward, only onto Kiano, though, and he's all alone. He should be going down without any usage of RP or anything like that. In fact, one more shot from Nico is going to kill him off with that DD rune. Back into the Roshan pit, probably for basically Unknown, this time with their Skywrath Mage alive. They're going to be more than happy to trade the tier 2 mid for this Aegis, since after this Aegis, Unknown can go for the Jugular.
Yeah, they'll throw Slavi towards the top lane as well to mitigate the split push coming through from the anti-mage, but Red Light playing way too scared to even push this lane in far enough to warrant defense. But Nico gonna solo up this Roche with the DD rune. Doesn't have a TP available to him. Does have 4,700 gold in addition to this. Now 5,300. Will pick up the cheese. Actually left the Aegis on the ground. Cheese in the pit. Meanwhile, engagement's happening in the jungle. Psionic Trap gonna hit up on Mind Control, and the Fire Blast goes out onto Dsauce. He's caught all alone. Has to use that BKB to get out, but they'll get the Doom off from Mind Control. With the Shadow Blade, should be able to chase him down and finish him off. Everyone else kind of out of position from the side of XPC. They're going to look for some split push coming out from Red Light, knowing that the TPs were just used, so he may be able to get a tier 3 here.
Well, not if he doesn't actually attack it. He's going to blink into the trees and just try to get the hell out of there. That fight started off really awkwardly because Mag went up high ground into 3 heroes and was instantly blown up. Stoneman's going to run to cancel, is going to try to chase them as best he can with 6 Fire Blasts. He'll do his best actually and get away with the Blink Dagger. TP out, he's going to be fine. Over towards mid lane. In the meantime, Red Light can jump straight towards Pure Evil to get the Hex onto Nico. Aegis is there, but maybe not for much longer because the Anti-Mage and Templar Assassin are just working into this Medusa. She's out of mana to Stone Gaze even. Now she's going to die. Needs to pop up this Mana Shield and get the Stone Gaze out
Mind Control
ASAP.
coming
She
in.
dies again. XPC can look to win the game off this. Here comes Mind Control, but a 2-man Impale from Kiano, and Nico still taking damage, although turn them all to stone. They get the stun onto Red Light Dota as well. Nico is going to try to disengage from this one. Still has a lot of mana, but not much else. Mind Control getting 3-shot by cancel. My god, that Daedalus doing work. Now Nico and Stoneman are going to try to book it out of here. However, Sonic Traps are there. They're going to try to bait them into Slavi's RP, which
Big
is
RP.
coming onto 3 as well. Nico with the split shots. Going to kill off a couple with a second RP as well. Cancel is going to die as well as Red Light. That's a clean sweep for basically Unknown. It was all a trap the entire time. Nico gets to live. Now up to 7,400 gold. Going for a high ground push is certainly risky because they don't know if XPC have buybacks, but they're going to test it. And I think XPC will have to buy out to defend.
There's no overgrowth for 45 seconds as well, so Illusionist can't set up for the buyback TP in with the overgrowth. But Nico looking a little bit tentative at this point. Does have 7.7k gold. Will find out Illusionist though, and this will allow them to go high ground if they're able to detect him, which they are not, unfortunately. So Nico just going to farm up the Ancients and look to back off.
And he will be just fine. For basically Unknown, it wasn't exactly the cleanest engagement, but now that the Medusa can officially get 6-slotted, it is worth it for them to go in as a team and look for that again. Double RPs, though, won't be up for quite a long time, so the Medusa is capped out. The Mag is not able to contribute. The Doom can also get quite a bit more farm on himself, but we already saw how effective this Lion has been versus Nico, just locking him down forever. You don't really want to get a BKB on Medusa, but she might have to. It's going to be an AC instead. A reasonable item up against the real threats on XPC, Templar Assassin, Anti-Mage, purely physical. But this Medusa is going to have to do some heavy lifting with the items she has, because she's not really going to get much more.
Yeah, I would have expected the Doom to build into the AC at some point, but having to opt for the BKB isn't able to do so for quite a while. So gonna look to mitigate some of the physical damage and increase some of her own for the Medusa, also help out with the push. I don't mind the item decision here. Was looking for something maybe with a bit more attack speed like a Mjolnir here, but either way, AC should definitely do the trick.
And she has 4,000 extra gold on top of that, so Assault Cuirass, of course, going to make her a lot more difficult to kill, but a lot more attack speed with the Bloodlust and Empower. Looks like Unknown are ready to go for the kill, and if they catch up Cancel here, well, they won't, but that could have very easily forced out a buyback from this Templar Assassin. And she's holding on to quite a bit of gold herself. I'm assuming the Anti-Mage is as well. He is that Abyssal Blade already up, but Unknown looking for some sort of target, and they see red light, or no, they don't see red light, but red light's very close by. They see an illusion. They know that one is fake because they're still smoked up, and red light is going to make the smart decision and go towards the south. Unknown, they're going to reveal the Medusa, and are they powerful enough to actually just straight push in? They have enough for a double RP, but still they don't have the time for it.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit risky from them. The high ground defense is pretty damn good with the Overgrowth and the Axe coming out, but just going to use Nico as the battering ram on the low ground, and she'll be just fine to bring down this tier 3 pretty quick, barring a response. Living Armor not going to do much work here. I'm going to have the Lincolns pop with the Mana Drain, of course, by that Lion, but already Nico not too worried about much. Slavi waiting in the wings with that double RP, Doom behind him as well, free melee racks, no response, and the whole lane gonna go there. Right, jump forward, Overgrowth, Abyssal onto Slavi. They're gonna bring down the Magnus quickly. Mind Control has to BKB up. He can't find a Doom target quite yet, but Nico's already gonna melt one. The Mystic Flare will do the job on another, and Cancel gonna get doomed up. DSauce gets to pop that cheese, but he's dropping pretty low. Red Light will get a big mana void off, but not before Nico kills him, and it's a triple kill going the way of the Medusa. There's a gem on the deck. One was picked up by Mind Control. They're going to try and TP in and fight this. DSauce going to look for the blink forward. He does get the battle hunger off, but the Lincoln Sphere going to keep Nico safe for now with those phase boosts. Should be able to get away. 5 seconds until the blink cools down from DSauce, and they're going to continue to chase forward. This could be a little bit risky. The buyback on Magnus is available. Nico going to get called up underneath the tower. Red Light going to go through. Going to try and defend this. The buyback is available on Nico if they want to fight this. There's the Finger of Death, gonna bring Nico down, but they will not buy back unless they see the Radiant side going higher ground, which they will do right now. No buybacks available for many heroes on the Radiant side. TA down, Anti-Mage down as well. They need to be careful about overextending.
Mind Control is going to come right in. He does not have a Doom, and he is spotted out because there were so many gems that were dropped. He's going to get sheeped up and taking a lot of damage, though he is going to be just fine. They're going to instead focus Slavi. He's the one with the RPs, is going to get one out, then forced up to the high ground. He's going to be just fine. Going to refresh for the second one, jumps right into lockdown. Both Red Light and Cancel. No damage output from him afterwards, but Nico's going to do the damage instead. Now DSauce is going to die to a snake poke. Nico draws a double, and all 3 heroes that just died were all 3 heroes that just bought back on XPC. Such a clutch set of RPs from Slavi, and then manning up to go in for round 2. That takes some stones, and Unknown, they've already forced out the buybacks. Their Medusa isn't going to be able to buy back if she dies, but the chances of her dying to a lion and a tree, close to 0, especially with the rest of the teammates coming up right behind her. Finger of Death to clear out a creep wave, but Keanu's now spotted because of that. Mystic Flare will get the kill, dropping a gem, which will also spot out Illusion as he's going to die as well. Oh, that was such an unfortunate series of events for the tree. Nico's going to go right in, and I think it's time to try to end the game for Basically Unknown. With only the tree alive, the tree will call GG. And Basically Unknown did, in fact, 2-0 XPC. It's the day for BUs to claim victory.
Yeah, Burden United taking the first series of the game, and Basically Unknown looking very good despite having a few connection problems to them. Shout out for being good sports and playing really well all around today. Their movement was great, and they played around their lineups very efficiently, both in Game 1 and Game 2.
Guys, it's been a long day for us, but we are at its end. It's a 2-0 win for Basically Unknown. XPC RO are out of the Yard G2A Festival. So again, big thanks to the organizers of this tournament. Big thanks to G2A for sponsoring it. Seems like they're sponsoring freaking everything, man. But if you guys enjoyed the games, if you guys enjoyed the casting, be sure to hit that follow button because this tournament is just getting started. Also follow myself and my co-caster on Twitter. I'm Mike Loris. You can find me at Mike Loris. You can find my co-caster at MRP_Dota. It's all in the title. And guys, we will be back some other time for more Yard G2A Festival. It's been a pleasure. See you next time.
GG, guys.
And At eBettle, we have made it simple for you to join in on the action. You can bet real money on your favorite teams and the biggest tournaments in esport. It's so easy that everyone can do it, but remember, you have to be at least 18.
This Doom, and as long as he plays safe, keeps his scorched earth at the ready, should be able to survive and soak some XP in his lane.
Well, you're just talking about splitting Doom focus. Templar Assassin is another chief target for the Doom to Doom. And really, I don't think he's going to be too upset throwing Doom towards the TA or the Anti-Mage. As long as he lands his ultimate on one of those, he should be pretty happy. But XPC, they definitely were lacking a little bit of early game fighting potential, and TA is the perfect hero that you want when you're going to do that. XPC have gotten to as much of an aggressive state as I think they could have, but still basically unknown. Their plan should just be stall out and let Medusa do her thing. Even though Anti-Mage, TA, very powerful late game heroes, Medusa is comparable just by herself, not to mention the amount of steroids they could put onto Nico. So this is going to be a stall out game for basically unknown. It's going to be up to XPC to try to crack this early on.
Yeah, and I mean, Doom is never something to overlook in the late game. You'll have Ag's Refresher by then, and that means at least one hero completely removed from the fight permanently. So BU still looking good despite AMTA being in the hands of XPC.
Well, this is game 2, guys. XPC are down a game, so they are facing elimination from the Yard G2A Festival. If they cannot win this game with this draft, they're going to put Illusionist on the Treant Protector. No boots first on him. Cancel is on the Templar Assassin, with Disaz on the Axe. Keanu is on the Lion, and then down towards bottom, it's Red Light on the Anti-Mage.
Yep, and for the side of BU, they're going to have Stomanen playing on the Ogre once again. Slavi going to pick up where Arise left off on the Magnus. Nico going to pick up that one position. Medusa, Pure Evil, going to be playing on the Skywrath Mage. And finally, that leaves Mind Control solo safe lane on the Doom.
And he's so close to danger right now. He has no vision up on this high ground. Actually, no, he does have a little bit. Actually, does he see them? I don't think he saw them, but he's still going to get cut off a little bit. Battle Hunger to slow down. Disaz looking to get in front of this Doom, but with the Tango, he's not going to take that much damage. Unless he's completely blocked, he should be fine. And he will slip around that Axe and get into safety. Taking a couple of pot shots is Keanu, but that's about it. Bounty Rune for Bounty Rune, and, well, Mind Control up on this top lane, going up against anyone, any assortment of XPC's heroes is not going to be fun for him. And really, XPC, they could even, if they really wanted to, leave the Treant up here to go up against the Doom and then jungle the Axe. It's as greedy as it gets, but they could get away with it.
Yeah, the tree will definitely still find some farm, and the Doom won't be able to deny it up from him. They could even send one mid lane and ensure Cancel's win here, but Cancel traditionally going to do much better than the Magnus will in this lane. Magnus won't have his farm denied, but he won't have any kill potential on this TA.
Yeah, he is going to get rid of the Battle Hunger pretty swiftly, but we have Keanu stalking up the high ground, waiting for this courier to come out. And they got a read on the Magnus's items very early on, so they knew what the Magnus's plan was. Rush the bottle. That's probably going to be his plan all the time. But it seems like the basically unknown side are not going to be surprised by this, unless this bottle is going to the south lane, which I doubt.
Stomanen going to find the courier in the mid lane. One more right click will be there. A good diligence for him to wait for it to come out to cancel. Brings out the boots, and no bottle going to be, or the bottle brings out the bottle, but no boots going to be available to the TA for the next little bit.
And the courier snipe is not going to happen on the basically unknown side either. Up towards top, Mind Control is doing a decent job 1v2, but is going to get shuffle lanes too much. It's going to be a Medusa for basically unknown. You don't get the cleave here from the Empower, but Bloodlust on Medusa is insane, and plus damage is always good. So Medusa is going to be that steroided up hero, and it's pretty resistant to what XPC have. You are probably going to look to get a Manta Style up on Medusa, so that Treant Protector's Overgrowth not really going to stick. Axe's Call, very nice for him, of course, but Medusa will have enough to sustain that. So for XPC, they're going to have to step up the heat right now, and Treant Protector, although he can do some aggressive plays early on, isn't really what I would call a super aggressive hero.
Yeah, like boots first, he's not bad early on in the lane, but certainly starts to taper off. AM left wide open from BU for XPC, and they'll pick it up here. Last two basically or one of the last melee cores basically available to them in the game. They won't quite have the steroids that BU do, but innate advantage with the mana break over the Medusa there from the AM. So if they're able to grab up a mid lane or something like a Storm Spirit here, can create a little space, get some pickoffs with this Axe and the Lion, and give this AM enough space, XPC looks pretty damn good going into the late game.
Well, basically unknown, they are already with the Ogre Magi Scarith Mage. These two heroes can lock down the Anti-Mage for a very long time. Until, of course, Anti-Mage gets his Manta Style, he'll be safe from, or he'll be under threat from all of that. Manta Style will keep him very safe, but still, XPC, their Anti-Mage, though he's going to get a lot of protection from the Treant, from the Lion, and he does have that Blink. The Blink is by no means guaranteed in this game, so basically unknown might be able to plow their way through the Anti-Mage, even though he is technically a good hero versus the Medusa. It's going to be Storm Spirit and Queen of Pain to be banned out, as basically unknown probably going to put their Magnus over towards the mid lane. Storm Spirit ban out, not too sure about that. Maybe XPC expecting BU to shuffle up their lanes, and man, they are going to. It's a doom for them. That's a pretty good counter to the Anti-Mage, I would say.
Yeah, and there aren't the greatest targets to really dissuade them from dooming up the Anti-Mage. You don't really care about the Axe being doomed up so much. The Lion is nice if the Anti-Mage isn't currently in sight, but other than that, it's pretty much going to be a delete button on this AM for most of these engagements, and that really bodes well for BU. It is going to make their lanes a bit weak, but Treant Protector not having too much disabled to him, they're going to have to close the gap on